guys, it's Lynn here. Hope everyone is keeping really well and healthy. Now today guys, this is going to be sort of a quickish video because I was in the middle of repotting some of my plants and cacti and succulents, and I potted my very old Ferocactus, which is this one here. And as I went to repot it, obviously which I always mention in my videos when I do repotting videos, check over the root system. And the only reason why I was repotting this big Ferocactus isn't because it was anything wrong with it. I just wanted to change the soil because I'm changing a bit of a soil mix over for the spring, and just wanted to do that. But as I got it out, I noticed that the roots came away very easily. I mean, the soil was totally dry. It's been kept dry all through the winter. I haven't given it any water yet, and the roots basically all came away in my hand. And I thought this would be a great opportunity to do a video on pruning back dead roots off Ferocactus or any type of cactus you've got, as long as they're not rotting. Now this is the Ferocactus here. It's not the most prettiest one. It's very scabby, but it's a very old Ferocactus. Otherwise would be quite healthy. When I repotted it last year, it had a fantastic root system on it. And as I say, it's not been watered throughout the winter. But sometimes I've had this happen on a lot of my cacti when I sometimes repot them and change the soils. The roots have died back, sometimes from being kept too dry over the winter, which we do here because obviously the cold temperatures, this is overwintered in the polytunnel. But it nearly always corrects itself. So if there's no signs of rot, if you get a cactus out and the roots are all smelly and rot and the rot spread up, then you have to do an emergency cut and treat it as a cutting. But in this case, from my experience, when I've had this happen before, don't know why it really does. Sometimes it just does. I just prune off the dead dried up roots to where it's fresh, and then leave the plant totally unpotted for about 24 hours so the roots heal up, and then pot up into dry cactus soil. And then I don't water then for another couple of weeks, or certainly a week. So here we go. All you have to do, just in case you're repotting at this time of year and you notice that you repot and it's got roots but they're all dried up, I want to cut it back to where there's a bit of fresh root here. And as I say, that's a little bit bent there, so this is obviously broke anyway, so I'm going to cut that up to there. And that's still dry, as you can see, all dried. See, if I was to pot this cactus up now with the dried roots into the fresh soil, the dried roots aren't going to take up any moisture, and it will probably send out new roots over time from this base here and around the bottom of the areoles here. But this old rotten, so the old dried up part could rot in the soil, and that's what you don't want. So it's important you prune back any dead obviously dried up roots here. They come away pretty quickly. And again, I want to see what this is like here. Now that's fresh. See, that's fresh root there, and a good way to tell is also by looking at it, it's not brown, and also by tapping that's damp, so that's good. So that's fresh root there, and here as well, looks pretty dried. So I'm going to cut back. Yep, fresh. So there we go. So it's not going to hurt if you cut into the fresh roots. What you don't want to do is to pot up straight away, because these are open wounds where the dead roots have been cut off there. And if I was to pot that up, even in dry soil, it can get infected and then it could rot even if it's not watered. Now this here, just going to cut, just the reason why I'm cutting is I want to check if it's fresh. Yep, that's fresh. So that's pretty much okay here. So again, this might be fresh. I'm just going to cut this little bit up to there. Yes, that's fresh as well. And again, dab it on, I can feel that's damp. So that's good. And that's really all I'm going to do here. I'm just going to check this piece here that's coming away easy enough. So I'm going to turn it round. This bit here as well is what I want to cut into again. It's going to cut up to there. Still dried. So I'm going to cut this back. That's it. See a bit of fresh root there. And yep, that's damp. So as I say, it's good to do this because if you just pot it up and think, oh, the old roots, it can cause the plant to rot back in the future. And that's pretty good there. That's still okay. Whoops, that big root. And here, this bit here is again, I think pretty much dried. So I want to check this out here. I'm going to cut this. Yep, that's sort of dampish, so I can get in there here. Yep, and that's fresh, damp. So there we go. I just wanted to share that little video here. These are obviously dried back, so these can be cut off. And that's fresh. They see a tiny bit of green, so that's okay. And as I say, I'm going to do now is leave this unpotted for 24 hours. And the reason why I'm doing that is because although they're only small cuts, again, if I pot it up, it's still damp in the roots, and it just to let the roots heal over, really. And that's really all I need to do. So I'm just going to leave that, and then after 24 hours, same time tomorrow, then I've got the new cactus mix here, which is 3 equal parts of a loam-based soil. In this case, I'm using John Innes number 2 with extra sharp sand added to it, and also pumice and lava rock, 3 equal parts, and I've mixed it all up, so it's very, very well draining, which Ferocactus, as the majority of desert cacti, like a very well draining cactus mix. So that's it, and then I'm going to carry on with the video then tomorrow when I'm showing you when I've potted it all up. Now there we go, guys, it's 24 hours later, or roughly around 24 hours, and all the cut parts I just show you there, that's dried up there, which is good. And what I'm going to be doing now is potting it up into quite a shallow pot, as I've chose this one, which is obviously shallow, but because it hasn't got much roots, that if I was to pot it up in a larger pot and there's too much soil around it, it could encourage the roots that's left to rot. And the soil mix I've made is 3 equal parts of a loam-based soil, in this case John Innes number 2, which has got added sharp sand to it, and lava rock, and also pumice as well. So 3 equal parts then, a good mix, and I've used extra well draining for this particular cactus because obviously the roots. And I'm going to do now is gently placing this into there, and then putting the soil all around it here. And I often ask, why do I not wear gloves in my videos? Well, really, you should really, I suppose, but I just prefer to work without gloves, and I have definitely got what I would say leather hands by now. And this type of cactus, believe it or not, is easy to handle without having to use gloves. Very spiny cacti. I'll probably use cardboard around my hands and big sheets of thick paper and things like that, because gloves are absolutely hopeless. But if you want to know how to repot a cactus, different method to what I'm using here, obviously for obvious reasons, then do check a video I have made out on how to repot a cactus. Links up above. And get the soil all around. And then what I'm going to be doing with this cactus, as I say, the roots have been knocked back a lot, and although it's spring now, it should recover well. I'm going to keep this dry for a good few days, as I mentioned earlier, and then introduce a very small amount of water in a few days' time, just to encourage what roots it's got to send out new roots. But as you can see, this is quite a fat cactus, fat Fero, so it's not going to die of lack of water. It's got plenty of stores in there, and it's more important that the roots recover well with this. And then using a clay pot as well, because that's also extra safe. And if you want to know why this Ferocactus is so scabby, I actually don't know. It's not had bugs or anything like that. It's been scabby for absolutely years. So I'm not really sure what's happened with it, but it's one of them things. So I've got a bit of a different type of repotting video today, you can call it repotting. And I wasn't going to film repotting this Ferocactus, but because I had to prune the roots back, which I wasn't expecting, I thought it would be good to share it with you. Should you be repotting your cacti, and this is sort of the time of year now, spring and summer, when you get repotting and you notice that, then you know what to do. And obviously if the roots were soft or smelly or anything, then it could be rot, and that's a different thing altogether. And if you have a cactus that rots, and you have to make an emergency cut completely, then also do check a few videos I've made actually on how to save a cactus from rot. Link's also up above. If you want to know a little bit more on how to grow cacti and succulents, check out my website also, desertplantsurvival.com. And if you haven't done already, please do subscribe, and don't forget to click that notification bell and gently tap. And what I don't want to do is press it firmly, really strong against the sides, because you want all that air into the soil, but you want to tuck it in enough so it's obviously secure. And that's really it. And Hopefully this will carry on to make a good recovery over the next few weeks. Luckily this is spring now, so it's got all the rest of the spring and summer to recover. So I hope you found that useful, guys, and helpful should that happen to you. And thank you all so much for watching. And thank you, Hansi, for filming. I don't want to send you loads of love, heaps of happiness, and tons of cactus power from across the Emerald Isle. And until my next video, bye. Bye.